All right, team, welcome back to Plastic Surgery Untold, the greatest podcast in the world. I'm Dr. Johnny Franco, also known as Austin Plastic Surgeon. I'm here with our celebrity crew. We've been talking about all sorts of things, but today we're going to talk about fat reduction. And any of you that hit up Thanksgiving as hard as I did, you may have a pound or two that you'd like to tweak, shed, and get rid of. So we're going to talk about the options for fat reduction. As you know, I do a lot of body sculpting, but it's not the only option out there. So we're going to jump into that. But before we get to the good stuff, let's do a little appetizer here to keep the theme going and check in with our cast and see what's going on. Celebrity, you want to kick us off? What's going on with you?
Oh man, what's new in the hood? So my wife at Your Trinity Therapist, Mary, there it is. Shameless plug number 5,280. She started her own business. So she started a consulting business. She's an occupational therapist, and she is now doing consulting work for families and caregivers of people living with dementia. So she goes in, she sets up telehealth calls with them, or she will actually go into the home and see them and see how she can help improve the quality of life for that person living with dementia by working with the family to basically optimize everything that they possibly can for that person living with dementia.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's so admirable, man.
I mean, she's awesome, and the fact that she can do that and make such a difference is just incredible.
You sound like her biggest fan. I love that.
I am her biggest fan.
Well, he has to. When he was slightly married last episode, he had to make some ground back up to be mostly married.
I don't know if anybody has seen the show Dave on FX, but he's got a hype man named Gata, and me and Mary always say that we're each other's Gata. We're the ultimate, each other's ultimate hype man.
But I feel like you need that. Don't be like Sarah, who left her husband here to look for the Greek god, leaving her last vacation.
That is not true, you guys. If you heard in the last episode, he did make the vacation.
Well, Christine is our esthetician that joined our team probably about 2 months ago. She is a non-invasive fat sculpting expert, so we thought we'd make her join us today. Even though she's a little shy, she said she would power through it and share her knowledge with us. But catch us up. Tell us, since this is your first time on the show, why don't you just tell people a little bit about you? You got 30 seconds. Go.
Sure. Okay, so I'm from the East Coast. I have roots in San Antonio. I'm new to Austin. I've been doing cool sculpting for 11.
She's one of the 4 million people that just moved in.
Just moved to Austin. I love it here. I've been doing body sculpting for 11 years and skincare for 11 years. Awesome. I'm excited about EON because it's touchless. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
And it's a laser?
And it's a laser, yes.
Sarah, what's going on with you? Did you get upgraded from mostly married? Where are you at here?
Yeah, marriage going strong. Dusty doesn't hate me too much from the last episode. He did make the trip. So what's not new, guys? EON is new. We're so excited. We're going to tell you all about that. We're getting very close to the new year. So everything is new, and we're excited to give you a new body very soon.
Wow, I like what you did there.
That.
G, you look like you're very festive today. For those of you that aren't watching us on YouTube, you're welcome to, because if not, you can't see all the costume and wardrobe changes G Berta does, but he's looking stunning in his red jacket.
I love it.
Thank you. I'm getting ready for the holidays. I'm just wait till you see next week's episode.
Well, and people who missed last week's episode, we actually had some mistletoe tips, if you will.
We did.
But what's going on in your life besides, warming up the mistletoe?
I just got back from a short trip I took to Cancun.
Ooh, boom.
Yeah.
How was that?
Right.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Very relaxing. It was my first vacation in almost 3 years.
Fact or fiction?
Fact. I know you guys give me a hard time about not working as hard as you do, but I swear to God, that was my first vacation since your brother's wedding, as a matter of fact.
That's interesting.
That was the last time I took a trip anywhere.
Who'd you go with? What'd you do?
A friend of mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's interesting.
What about you, man? What's new with you?
Nothing. I mean, there's a few projects in the works. Not quite ready to talk about.
All right. That's fair.
You can't.
Stay tuned.
You can't count your chickens before they're hatched. If
True
you will.
that.
But there's some exciting things coming in 2022. So I'm super stoked, and so hopefully in the next episode or two we'll have a little bit more news to.
Is it something that I'm aware of? Have you mentioned it to me?
No.
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 Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a super secret.
Yeah, sort of. Well, let's jump into this. Let's talk about fat reduction. Maybe we'll go from, let's go opposite order here because we'll spend just a very minimal time because we've talked about liposuction, those type of things. Let's recap that and then let's jump into all the other options that you have out there if we don't do surgery.
Yeah.
Because we've definitely talked about liposculpting, BBLs, those type of things, which I think are super powerful. I don't think they're going away anytime soon. I think for full body sculpting, I think for people that have a large amount of fat reduction and shaping they're trying to do, I think for people who are trying to do fat transfer, I still think, lipo's one of the, and there's many types of lipo, but lipo is still kind of the instrument of choice because it lets us utilize that. A lot of the non-invasive fat reductions destroy fat cells, so don't really give us the opportunity to put it in other areas.
Yep.
Travis, you see us do a bunch of lipo stuff and you've seen different kinds. Kind of interesting because not all lipo is the same. And
Not at all. I mean, you got a couple different options with what tools you use to actually harvest the fat or to get that fat out, whether it's VASER, whether it's using PALs, whether it's just standard, straightforward liposuction. So a lot of options there. Yeah.
And it's funny that you mentioned VASER because that has been one of our newest toys that we've unveiled. So we added this to our practice probably about 5-6 months ago. We'd had an older version. So I shouldn't say we added it to our practice. We upgraded to the newest version of it. We had an older device and just got a brand spanking new one. So it's like a new car. Super excited about it. And I think it's been great because the VASER is actually not a true laser like EON, which we're going to get to, but it's actually ultrasonic technology. And you've probably heard us talk about that with all therapy. But basically what this does is it lets us break up the fat prior to lipo. So this lets us decrease the blood loss, which makes recovery easier for patients. I feel like it allows us to take more fat out. Yeah. I feel like it lets us do more of the sleek body contouring, some of the defining contouring and also I think decreases the risk of contour deformities from lipo because you're not over lipo in one spot because the fat is coming out very smoothly and nicely. One of the things that'll be interesting, and nobody's really published about this, so maybe one of the projects we'll have Gilberto work on in the near future, but the fat actually comes out much smoother, and I think that the idea of injecting this fat gives us a lot more ability to be precise and volume to insert into the buttocks. So
totally.
This is one of the things we want to look at. I don't know, just seems like one of the things in our experiences we've been doing this.
The consistency of the fat is noticeably different.
And the purity.
Oh, for sure. And you can see it in the tank. Like when you're lipoing and I'm behind the drapes on the anesthesia side, I'm like, man, that it really does look different when you're using the VASER.
Liquid gold, you might say?
It definitely,
yeah.
it looks like liquid gold because you don't have all the blood, oil, other things that you would have, if you didn't. And we've talked about it with fillers and other stuff. The butt is an envelope and there's only so much you can put in there. So if it's filled with stuff that you're going to absorb, you're taking up some precious space that you could put some liquid gold into that butt.
Yep.
Does the VASER help with like round 2 with scar tissue? What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Round 2s have definitely become a thing, and maybe another topic for 2022. But definitely, any time whether you've had a tummy tuck, previous lipo, I even think, and we'll get into this, even like cool sculpting or some of these other non-invasives, people still create some scar tissue, and I think the VASER, no question, helps break some of that up, helps with some of the contouring, helps with that. I love this in a revision. In gynecomastia, men need love too.
Oh, yeah.
I think the VASER is absolutely fabulous because that tends to be a thicker, denser breast tissue type tissue that we're taking out, and that's a spot where I love the VASER.
I like that.
And then there's steps, and Gilberto used to do a lot of surgery with me in the past, and we do something called Safe Lipo, which combines the PALS, power assisted lipo, and this is. And it's funny because this is a combination of different types of lipo. We're doing different steps to smooth everything out.
Yep.
So I think that's super cool. I won't overly bore us because you guys have heard us talk about this, but just want to kind of, for completeness, hit on those topics. And then now let's jump into a little bit of the non-surgical side. Sarah, do you want to talk about a few that we've hit in the past before we jump into EON, some of these? Because we've talked about Kybella, some of those, and maybe where that fits, and then we'll jump into our exciting new toys.
Yeah, sure. I would say, Kybella, you've probably heard a lot about. Kybella is an injectable that we can use to permanently reduce fat in areas that you don't want it. It does have limitations because it would take a lot of product and a lot of time and a lot of healing to treat a large area. So probably not a realistic treatment to like treat your whole abdomen, right? But we use it commonly in like the submental or chin area. But it is something that we try to be really realistic in that it is permanent fat reduction, but you are going to probably take a lot of treatments to get you where you want to be. It takes time. You know, a lot of treatments sometimes can equal increased cost. So there's limitations, but it definitely still has an important spot. And then, cool sculpting, which I am not an expert on, but I know it's been around for a while, so I'll probably let Christine touch on that a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, offices I've worked at, we had both Kybella and cool sculpting, so a lot of times we would debulk with cool sculpting first because it was more cost effective and people would kind of spot treat with Kybella. So I've seen success with both of those treatments. The cool sculpting has been around for a long time. I'm really excited to kind of step away from that now and see new technology with the EON. And then also there's a lot of like radio frequency and muscle building machines and just different fat reduction machines. All of them take time, 3 months. Fat cells flush out through your lymphatic system. So we encourage drinking water and, working out with these. They definitely don't replace surgery, but I feel like a lot of my patients that don't have the downtime or have kids or are just nervous, are good candidates for surgeries or for cool sculpting and fat reduction with the EON. Specifically. And then as far as like building, glutes, we've got the M Sculpt. So fat reduction with the EON, M Sculpt for building a butt. We can do both.
Yeah.
And I think you've hit it, really nailed it in terms of there's no one treatment that's perfect for everybody. There's a huge combination of things. I think there's different spots that lend better to different devices, injections, and treatments. And then on the flip side, we'll help guide people, whether you're a better surgical candidate, Kybella, or one of these non-invasive fat reduction devices, because it's really person dependent. We've talked about it when we've on previous episodes we're talking about fillers and facelift stuff. Depends on your goal, right? If it's a tiny area and just one little thing you want to reduce, then probably one of these things are a good option for you. If you're trying to lipo 360 arms, thighs, back, and do some fat transfer, probably not the best option.
Right.
And so, but before, I know we've kept you guys in suspense. When do you guys want to talk to us a little bit about exactly what EON is? I feel like we've mentioned this a few times and now just given enough teasers. Though Sarah likes to not tease you guys. She likes to give you the goods without working for it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Happy Tinder.
You're welcome. EON is our newest toy. If y'all follow us on Instagram at Austin Plastic Surgeon.
If you don't, shame on you guys.
Yeah, you should. You've seen us do some videos. It is new in the office. It is our newest toy. I think we're one of maybe 2 places in Austin.
Only 2 offices in Austin right now.
Yeah, where you can find it. But it is a touchless robotic laser fat reduction machine. So it is so cool. This thing looks like it's literally a robot.
Yes.
Christine and I had the pleasure of treating each other with the EON already, so we can speak to exactly how it feels and how it works. And but it is going to kill the fat cells beneath the skin via the laser. And as Christine said earlier, it will take time to see those results because you will flush out the dead fat cells through the lymphatic system. But the coolest thing about the EON is it is able to keep you comfortable at the same time because it, I think they call it jet impingement. Is that right? It's really, the cooling system. It's going to force cool air onto the skin so it keeps the surface level of your skin cool and comfortable while the laser is heating the fat cells beneath the skin.
So it's a super cool cooling system.
That's right.
Yes.
That's interesting. I see what you did there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll be honest, I have a very low pain tolerance. I had cool sculpting done, and I was very honest with my patients. It is very cold. There is a little bit of pain involved. The laser, when I got the EON done, I was almost shocked that it didn't hurt. I know a lot of us associate results with pain, so I'm like, wait a second, I don't feel anything. I feel a little tender like a few days after, but I'm super excited to see results. She said maybe even at a month.
Yeah. So we say 6 to 12 weeks to really see the results, but maybe even a little bit sooner. And let's tell them, like, the results that they have shown in the studies is incredible when you compare it to other devices. So you want to throw some stats out there?
Yeah, I mean, you're keeping us on the cliffhanger here.
Okay. 21.
I'm ready to sign up.
You guys.
Feed me more information.
I know. I'm very
20
excited.
minutes.
Yeah, 21 to 25% reduction in fat after one session. Which is huge. I mean, that's a huge, I think they said a lot of people lose 2 belt sizes after only one session.
Wow.
And I want to say it was like 6.3 millimeters reduction in the thickness of your fat in the abdomen.
That's cool.
So we're talking one session. Now, I will say something that's important is the EON can only treat so much surface area at in one time. So if we're going to treat your whole abdomen, that could include 2 to 3 20-minute sessions. So just something to keep in mind. But
we'll help them with that through the whole process, because this is where we
Absolutely.
can evaluate you, make a game plan of what we can and can't do.
yeah, absolutely.
And some of that is the limit of the robot's arm, because it has this robotic arm that goes through and it gets programmed to your specific area, and then you're flat, and then it zooms over you and it goes bzz, 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 bzz. Super, super cool. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I've got to see this thing.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready.
It looks as cool as it sounds, you guys. We're all a little bit obsessed because it's our new shiny toy, but I am very, very excited.
I saw a couple of videos. I need to come in and see it for myself.
How do we, I mean, I think one of the big things to make sure people know is this is a completely new and different technology from like Cool Sculpting, Vanquish, and some of the other things that have been out there in the past. And I think that's what makes this super exciting. And it's just a new way of treating fat that we haven't done before.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the cooling system allows the laser to get up to a certain temperature, which is able to give you those results and so much fat reduction where we couldn't do that before because of the pain. So the cooling system keeps you comfortable so that you can,
So you can tolerate it.
Yeah.
So typically with radio frequency devices, it's heat. You're trying to get to 45 degrees Celsius, which is very hot on the patient. You have to take breaks. If they're not hydrated, it doesn't work. With this laser, if it gets too hot, we just hit a button for you, and it sprays cold on the skin, takes a little sting away, and that's it. So it seems too good to be true,
but the studies say it's not.
Yeah.
And this is where we'll help you with some of these things, because we also don't want to give people the false illusion, right? This isn't a replacement for lipo, definitely not a replacement for tummy tucks, if you have loose skin, issues like that. So, and this is where we'll guide you when you come in, and we can talk about it. Hey, it's a good treatment for this area, X area. And there's definitely patients who we've done like 360 lipo, and now they just want to do like an arms, an inner thigh, an outer thigh, a tiny little spot, but they don't want to go back to surgery. That's a great combination for some of those areas. But on the flip side, if you come in and you got loose skin, our team will be like, hey, look, you got a lot of skin in your arms. It's not a fat issue, and then we can go to the next step and see where we do need to help guide you. So definitely want to be real about what it can and can't do.
Absolutely, yeah. Not gonna replace the tummy tuck. We're just going to reduce the fat a little bit, but we will not be addressing the skin laxity with the EON.
So does it treat areas other than the abdomen?
Yes, yes, we can.
So its current approval is for the abdomen. There's more approvals coming, just like for most devices. There's some areas that are in the initial studies. Really anything from the clavicle down we can treat with appropriate supervision and consultation to make sure that it's a good area for the device. There's a couple limitations in terms of positioning, but we're pretty good at helping you with that.
And
Awesome.
it does need to be a flat area, though. I had somebody, I think that they were bothered by their cankles. They were asking, it has to be a area where we can get you mostly flat. So as long as you have some flat surface area there, we can pretty much treat it if it's beneath the neck.
Sounds like a game changer to me.
I think it's super exciting. It just shows you how technology continues to evolve and where we're getting with some of these things. And I think as we get more experience with the device, I think there's going to be more and more areas that we can treat, because as those of you that are with me in rooms all the time, there's just certain areas, and Travis knows it from surgery, areas that we just don't love to lipo because the chance of contour deformities, the limit in terms of the results they're going to get for the time, money, and effort. And I think this is going to help fill some of those gaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the other amazing perk is downtime. You want to talk a little bit about that? There's really...
We haven't even touched on that.
Yeah.
There really isn't. I mean, they encourage you to work out the next day. Again, we both had it done. I didn't really remember I had it until I pushed on my stomach or bumped into a counter or something like that. So it seems pretty easy. There's not a lot of swelling with Cool Sculpting. There was... great results with Cool Sculpting, but there was some downtime. There was swelling. We had to wear abdomen wraps. I mean, you were pretty tender. Some bruising. So nothing like that with the EON. Pretty simple.
You can come on your lunch break, literally. Come get a 20-minute, or if we're treating 2 areas, a 40-minute treatment and go back to work. Like, literally no downtime. Get back to working out, like you said. And we're talking very minimal tenderness. Like, I have to push hard to tell that I had it done.
And I think there's a couple things here. One, people definitely forget, I think sometimes, and you mentioned it, it'll take up to 3 or 4 months to see the full results of this. And so if you're already planning your hot girl summer or spring, this is the time to do it. Because if you wait till May or June, you're not going to see the results till the end of summer. And so a lot of people just think about this, and we've talked on some of our facial rejuvenation is timing. So if you're trying to look good for spring break trip to Cancun with Gilbert, you got to get ready now, because that list is long and you better get in line. And so
that's a great point.
Make sure you're giving yourself time, because this is the time to be ready for spring.
Absolutely. And if you had a little too much at Thanksgiving,
Yes, I did. Thank you for pointing that out.
So are you saying that summer bodies are made in the winter?
Yes, I would be saying that.
Absolutely.
Why are you whispering to me?
I love the idea that you guys know I'm very much a minimalist in the sense of diet, exercise, and all that. And I
wait, you're a minimalist in exercise, but you just ran a marathon?
No. I mean, I'm a minimalist outside of diet and exercise and everything.
That makes more sense.
I think
And
some stuff
too.
that and clothing. I think some stuff that promises these.
If there's any nudist colonies that are looking for a spokesman, please add celebrity anesthesia.
At least shirtless colonies. No, but I think sometimes you get these products that hit the market and they promise these crazy results and everything. I think this is something that is going to have awesome results. And what I like about this is sometimes this is just what people need to kind of like get over the hump. Get over the hump and really get that good that good leg forward, that good foot forward to like, okay, now let's implement some good diet and exercise routine stuff. Let's try to do diet modification, lifestyle modification with this. Be a huge game changer for people.
Well, I think there's a lot to be said too. When you start seeing results, it motivates you to work harder.
100% agree.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, this is not a miracle procedure. Yep. So absolutely we can get you over the hump, but you will have to maintain. Like, if you gain 20 pounds after you get the EON, we can't promise that you will.
Yeah, I did not eat any donuts after my treatment.
Atta girl. So yeah, it's definitely a great, like you're saying, a good starter to just start a healthy lifestyle. Or I've already had several people reach out to me who they are in really great shape. They do diet, they exercise, and like maybe just the lower abdomen, they have that little pooch that they just can't seem to get rid of. So in that case, you probably could just come in 1 20-minute session and boom.
Yeah, and flanks on men, that's a really popular area.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's funny you mentioned men, because I've been talking about this at the surgery center, and we've had several people who are men that have been kind of resistant to other stuff, and they're like, ooh, love handles. I mean, just
ears
no matter what,
up.
like, and most of us, we just want our skinny jeans to fit well.
That's right.
I'm tired of Winston and I being called twins. We're not. I mean, he's definitely got great legs. He's been walking twice a day, but still, we got to have a good figure.
Hot guy summer coming
That's
up.
what I'm talking about.
Right.
Hot dog summer.
And I think Travis there bring a good point. It's not a weight loss treatment.
Right.
Not at all.
You're not going to see a weight change.
Right.
That is not the goal of it. Couldn't agree more with both of you that, this is not a supplement for a lifestyle, and so those things go hand in hand. And I always tell people, the better shape you come into any of these procedures, the better you're going to come out. Anything you do afterwards is only going to make your results that much better. So no question, they go hand in hand. Can't replace one for the other.
That's such a good point. We are not looking to see reduction in pounds here. That's just not how it works. But ideally, we will take your measurements before we do the treatment. And ideally, you will see some reduction in inches, which would be awesome. So
Because it's a shape changing,
That's
not
right.
a weight changing.
Oh,
Right.
yes. I like that.
Because I'll tell you, one of the things that surprises people the most, and we post a lot on our Instagram, is, and you've been in surgery with us, you guys, and
Yeah.
Tummy tuck. People always think when we do a poll of how much this tummy tuck,
Weighs.
skin,
It's going to
fats,
weigh 30 pounds.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
or 3.
Exactly. More realistically.
But
2, 3
realistically, they're
pounds.
2 or 3 pounds
Yeah.
for the vast majority of people, because we're doing tummy tucks when you've already lost that weight, you're in good shape, and now you got skin, a little bit of fat, but it just gives you an idea. If you're cutting out everything from your pubic hairline all the way to your belly button, and it still only weighs 2 or 3 pounds, you can't expect, a 20-pound weight change, with EON.
Absolutely.
And fat just weighs not near
Not as much as muscle. That's what I tell people all the time. I was like, BMI doesn't work for me. I'm all muscle. That's what Winston says as well.
And we take really good pictures too, before and after photos at every single angle. And
Yeah.
a lot of times, with Cool Sculpting, you used to have patients bring in like their favorite dress or jeans they want to fit into, and take a picture of them, barely button them up, and then
I love
3 months later, take that picture in those jeans again. And that's usually people feel it in their clothes. They don't really see it on the scale.
Yeah,
So
that's a great point. I love that.
What end of year, because we did this on the last episode of getting mistletoe ready. If we're trying to get ready for hot girl spring stuff, because I feel like this is the time to do some things, can you guys each give us a little nugget? We'll go around the room. Maybe we'll start with G to give Christina a little bit of time to talk, because she's not used to me putting her on the fire seat. But if you go last, all the good ones have been taken. Go, Gilbert.
So everybody makes the New Year's resolution, right? Everyone decides that they want to start working out after the new year, and gyms are packed. It's hard to get in. It's hard to work out. Start working out now. It's like start early.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
Start now.
Did you just come up with that?
Avoid the crowds.
do you work out
Can I
before
stop
pie?
in January if I start now? Or?
You got to keep going. It's a lifestyle change, John. It's
that's-
a lifestyle change.
That's interesting.
I love
That's
that.
interesting. I'll take that into consideration.
To piggyback on that one thing that I have learned, especially from the running stuff, and then just with the business, and I'm sure you agree with this too, but consistency compounds. And I was never like the biggest believer of that before I really started doing the running stuff and really started training for an event. And it's like every day you're just like, go out and you run, and if you just keep running every day, all of a sudden your times get faster, you feel better, you start to lose some weight, you're starting to see results, and it's just like just doing it each day, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, shit, I'm 2 minutes faster a mile than I was 6 months ago, and all it's taken is just running a little bit every day.
I couldn't help it. Run, Forrest, run. I just kept on going and going.
I might start that. I'm not a runner, but I like to be.
And it doesn't even have to be running, but with anything like healthy lives, everybody wants to jump on these crash or fad diets, and it's not sustainable. So start making like slightly better lifestyle or eating choices every day. And if you do that every day, that 200 calories a day ends up being 1,400 calories at the end of the week. And then at the end of the month, that's a couple thousand calories. And then all of a sudden, you're operating at a little bit of a deficit. So it's just being consistent. That just compounds over time.
Maybe we should do like 10 laps around the building before we start clinic every morning.
Get back to our old push-up
a little
contest
something.
days.
Start in the morning. Everybody bring some tennis shoes. We'll do like 10 laps around.
In esthetician school, we used to go on a wellness walk after lunch because we were all kind of crashing. So we would do a walk around the building, and it was nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Power walk. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
bring it back. I like it.
Yeah, so something I try to do, I know y'all see me around the office carrying my 80-ounce thing of water. I'm real big on the water. I can tell a difference in my skin, my bones, like just the way I feel when I drink enough water. And it's something so simple, so cheap. I mean, throw some lemons in there and, your skin will clear up. It helps with inflammation. So I'm real big on the water, especially with the EON. I'm going to push that with all my patients. Hydration is super key with all therapy, with really anything that we do. So.
Yeah, I love that. I was going to say, honestly, just take the first step. So whether that is EON for you or whether it's liposculpting and we're helping you maintain, as long as you just take the first step, then you're going to, and you see a little bit of something, it motivates you to keep going. So if we're going to be doing a little bit of fat reduction with EON, hey, let's also talk about taking care of your skin. And hey, let's, we're talking about hydration. Let's talk about diet, so just taking the first step is going to motivate you to really make those lifestyle changes.
I love it. So many good tips.
What what if we just an idea for 2022?
Okay.
Do a hot guy girl summer challenge amongst the APS staff.
Ooh.
So down. I'm so down.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
tired of being chunky.
I feel like okay. We got to make this good though. If we're gonna
Tell
throw down the
people-
gauntlet, we got to make this good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
let's brainstorm this
I'm
a little
excited.
bit.
I'm in. I feel like I might win.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Tell the
tuned.
people to
Stay
bring
tuned.
fruit, not donuts. They bring us cookies and donuts, but we
I can't support that
fruit and
statement.
vegetables. Come on.
No, somebody brought us like Carlos's Bakery from San Antonio. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no.
It's been his
We'll
favorite.
just yawn it
Vito,
off.
the demise
of
Okay.
Dr.
Sorry,
Franco's
Vito.
waistline.
Just chug water.
Can we do a little quote of the day? Is Gilberto
I'm
good?
prepared.
Are you?
I'm prepared this
Travis
time.
did? Okay,
Yep,
cool.
go ahead.
I'm
Thank
prepared
you.
this time.
Yeah.
So since we were talking about, body contouring, shape, stuff, I thought this was appropriate. In life, as in art, the beautiful moves in curves. That was by Edward G. Bulwer-Lytton.
Ooh.
Ooh, we do love
like
curves
that.
around here.
I do love some
Yeah.
curves. Yeah. You're welcome. That was pretty famous.
Yeah, was that a good comeback
Yeah,
for
that-
like dropping the ball last week?
Yeah, it was. Any EON last tips about this that you guys would like to share with the world?
I will say we didn't mention this, so we should, as far as consistency compounds, you actually can. So if you love your EON so much you want to do another 25% reduction, you can repeat treatments. So you can get those results with one treatment, but if you loved it so much you want to do it again and reduce a little more fat, you can repeat. You just need about at least 6 weeks in between.
Right.
And this is where we'll definitely help you with the different areas because there's got to be a little bit of plan in terms of how we do the segments
sure.
and set up the robot and all sorts of cool stuff.
For sure. We're here for you.
Anything else you guys would like to leave the listeners with?
Start your treatments in January. You'll see results by spring break.
Or now, the sooner the better. Yeah, don't wait, guys. Just get in.
We're ready.
Like Gilberto said, summer bodies are made in the winter. So
Just dropping nuggets left and
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Whereas
T-Bone?
my buddy from growing up would always say, Travis, abs are made in the kitchen.
That is true. That is true. I
Thank
definitely
you. Shout out Taylor.
So as you're working on your abs, we can help you show them off with the EON.
That's
Boom.
exactly
You're
right.
welcome.
Build the foundation in the kitchen, and we'll just help you reveal them.
Ooh.
Nice.
I like that.
Sarah.
Thank you, nurse.
Love that.
Well, on that note, because I don't think we can get any better than that, I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Super exciting, some new stuff that's come out recently, and happy to be able to share that with all of you. Stay tuned. Plastic Surgery Untold, greatest podcast in the world, as voted by us. You can download us anywhere you get your favorite podcasts: iHeart, Pandora, Spotify, and if you want to see our pretty faces, definitely can watch us on YouTube as well. So we'll see you. Oh, actually, you can watch clips of us on Facebook now. So if you follow us on Facebook, clips of our podcast are on there and easy to get glimpses of this as well. So
Love it.
boom, boom,
Awesome.
boom. All right, see you guys.
See you
Bye.
guys.